Hi guys, welcome to Babastock family. This video is for those of you that are following Tanisha's story. I haven't posted any videos for a while because I don't have any new updates or anything like that. It's been 10 months and yeah, still nothing, still no closure, still nothing at all. What I'm about to say is going to be upsetting to some. It's very deep, so tune off if it's going to be too much. I haven't spoke about this, what I'm about to say, before. This is the first time. I spoke about how she died and when she was ill in her last hours. And some people ask me questions, dumb questions, all sorts of things. So if I just, speak about what I've seen, then there might be a little bit more understanding into the situation. So one of the videos that I posted was Tanisha's story from beginning to end, and that explains, what kind of happened. I have had the hospital report since. I can't speak about that yet. That's very deep, and I have said before, there is no closure from that, but there's a lot more questions. So basically, when Tanisha passed away, it was about maybe an hour and a half when the doctors came up and said that we could go to see her. She was actually in the intensive care unit bit. She was in the back room, and I waited for my children, the bigger ones, to travel up, and I had to make the hard decision to not take the smaller ones with me because I thought it'd just be too much for their little heads to handle. They still believe in Father Christmas, the Tooth Fairy and all that business, and that was just too deep for them to see their sister that way. I mean, some people might not agree, but I believe that, they was just too young. The older ones, they'd come with me, and that was the longest walk ever. Out of her room where Tanisha stayed overnight into the lift, and I just felt so sorry for my children that they was about to see their sister sleeping like that in the nicest possible way. So we've gone down to intensive care and the door was shut. I've looked at my children behind me and we've gone in. Tanisha was there lying on the bed. My children broke down. My eldest daughter, she literally fell to her knees. I had to, remain strong for them. I walked straight over to Tanisha and I just couldn't believe it. An hour before she was alive, and just before that she was playing games on the phone, brain teaser games. She was eating ice cream and she ate half a Domino's pizza, and then just, a few hours later she was gone. I looked at her and her hair was a little bit messy, and Tanisha was very fussy with her hair. She liked it to be perfect all the time, and she wouldn't have liked anyone to see her with her hair frizzy or this and that. So I took her hairband out and I knotted her hair and run my fingers through her hair to get the knots out and put it back up in a bun all neat. I gave her a kiss and she was still quite warm. because that's how, you know, she'd only just passed away, so her body temperature was still, you know, warm. And then we left there, came up the hospital, and it started snowing. The snow, never seen nothing like it. I don't know if you guys remember the 31st of January, where it snowed for one day. The snow was coming down thick and fast, and like my brain was just all over the place, because I'm thinking to myself, I've got to get everybody home safely, and I have to leave Tanisha. So like, my brain wasn't processing like what just happened. So I've got everybody in the car, and that was the longest journey home. On the motorway I had to do about 7 miles per hour. That's how thick the snow was. I had to put my lights on full beam just to see where I was going. So all I could focus on that day was getting everybody home safe. Oh, it was awful, it was awful. So I've got home, sorted the children out, and I didn't sleep at all. I just couldn't believe it. And I just kept having flashbacks of how she died, you know. It was horrific. Just to see your child just head flop and eyes wide open and tongue hanging out and all of that business. It was just kept getting images of that moment. So in the morning, I took the children to school, and I went up to the hospital to see her. She was in the rainbow room, which is the mortuary, but it's just a nicer word for children. And Tanisha, she loved her blanket. All my children, they love to wrap themselves in a blanket at night and be warm. And when I left her the night before, I was just thinking to myself, she's going to be cold. And then I kept checking myself, like, she's not here anymore, she died. I mean, like, how could she be cold? But I just couldn't rest until I brought a blanket up to her, because when I left her, she had this thin little holy, not holy like that, but you know them like blankets with like little holes in them. And yeah, I just wanted to take her thick blanket up to her and her book. So I drove up to the hospital the next day and went to see her in the rainbow room. She was lying on a bed with a cover on her. I went to kiss her, and she was stone cold, literally stone cold. And that's the first time I've ever seen a dead body. So I didn't know what to expect. But that coldness, you'll never forget. And someone once told me, when you have a baby and it's just born and you smell it, that's a smell that you will never ever forget, and it is so true. And I smelled Tanisha, and that is a smell that you will never forget. It was like kissing ice, but without the wetness, you know, that's all I can explain. And she was just frozen. I wrapped her in a blanket and I placed her book on her chest, spoke to her, told her how sorry I was. I couldn't believe it. I just said, I'm so sorry, Tanisha, this has happened to you. And I was just looking at her, I couldn't believe it. So I left the hospital and came back home. I still have mother duties, cooked dinner, clean the house, make sure the children were alright. Yeah, it was really hard, really hard. And She was in the mortuary for about 3 weeks. And then she was moved to the funeral directors. I went to see her there in the chapel of rest. She had a blessing there. At this point she was still on, she was on a tray, like a silver tray. Diane McKinder, that's the funeral director she was at, she looked after her brilliantly. Then they asked me to go and buy her some clothes so they could get her dressed. So I went shopping for her. I literally got her brand new everything from top to bottom, down to her underwear. And when I was picking at her clothes, that's when it hit me, like, I will never be buying clothes again for Tanisha. That'd be the last time. Yeah, I just stood there like in a shopping centre, just a bit frozen, like I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, I got myself together, brought her clothes, I took it down to the funeral directors. They got her dressed. And then, I don't know, maybe about 3 or 4 days after that, they called me to tell me her coffin had arrived and that I could go and see her in her coffin. Wow. I mean, I went by myself, I didn't take the children. It just would have been too much, and her appearance had changed quite a bit as well as 3 weeks had passed. So when I was driving there, I was just dreading like what she was going to look like, and this is actually going to be the last time I ever see her. When the lid goes on that coffin, that is it. So I've got there. My heart was just beating out of my chest. I mean, I don't even think there's any words for all the emotions that I was going through. They've opened the door where the chapel of rest is, and I was on my own, and I've walked in there. It was cold, it was airy, and when I'm telling you, it was for the spirits, it was full of spirits. I could feel it. And any other time, I would have took off running. But when you can see your child lying there in the coffin, you just gotta, you just gotta just take it. And that was just the worst. I've walked over to her coffin, and yeah, she was lying there. She looked very peaceful. Her appearance had changed quite a bit. Tanisha had the most beautiful eyes, and all her eyes were like sunk in. I spoke to her. I gave her a hug. I just wanted to squeeze her, you know, but I didn't want to knock the coffin on the floor. So I had to just kind of hug her gently, but she was stone cold, and she was rock hard. I mean, I don't know why, I was feeling her, just touching her, feeling her. And I peeled her blanket back off her, just to see her clothes I brought her. And, you know, that would be the last time I'd ever see her, all of her again. So, yeah, I just looked at her from head to toe. Placed a diamond ring on her finger, because I thought, you know, I wanted to go with something nice on her hand. Put a bracelet. She had her book, she had her blanket. She also had letters in there from some of her friends, and some pictures what the children drew. I didn't even know how long I was in there. I didn't even time it, but it came to a point where I had to say to myself, you have to go now. And that was just the hardest thing of it all. I mean, to walk out and leave your child knowing you're never going to see them again, I mean, yeah, that's... So, kissed her goodbye and just told her how sorry I was that this had happened to her, and that I'd make sure I'd keep her memory alive, and that I'd make sure I'd still continue doing the YouTube. And yeah, so that was the situation for that. And then I have people saying to me, you know, oh, you've got no emotion and this and that. I have a lot of emotions, but when you're a mother, you put yourself last. The day your child comes on this earth, you no longer can put yourself first. So I have to make sure that the children are coping, and if I can make them laugh and smile every day, then that's the best medicine that you can have. As they say, laughter is the best medicine. Yeah, so you know, they come first. And Kyra, I don't know if you guys have seen, she plays a part as Maggie Haggy, some old lady. And Maggie Haggy actually came from, she used to mess around with Tanisha, being an old lady and doing all the voice. So pretty much a little while after Tanisha was gone, Maggie Haggy was born. And yesterday's video was Kyra's last video. She's kind of moving on to other things now, but I feel so sorry for her because she's being so strong. Tanisha and her, well, they was best friends. They was only 15 months apart, and she was planning her birthday with her, and you know, so she was here one minute and gone the next. So yes, and at Tanisha's funeral, Kyra broke down. She hadn't cried before that. So she actually broke down, bless her, along with my other children. So I had to once again remain strong and brave for the others, because we're such a close family, and if my children saw me upset every day, they'd be upset too. And I don't want that for them, because they still have to live their life, you know? So if I remain how I am, it keeps them, you know, keeps them fine. And my eldest son said to me, Mum, the stronger you are, Mum, the stronger I am. I just couldn't believe it, bless him. So yeah, this is why, you know, the way I am. Some people can't understand. They think I should be in my bed crying every day, taking antidepressants, letting my house go to rot, but no. And for all my haters out there that can't wait to see me break down, it's not going to happen. Because, you know, I only get stronger and stronger every day. And the thing I can do is make sure I fight for justice for Tanisha. And I will be fighting for justice for that poor little girl until the day I leave this earth. And that's a promise. So yeah guys, I'm sorry that I haven't got anything else to update you with regarding the hospital report, but that will be coming soon. I don't even know what else to say, but this is only a quick one because I still have mother duties to attend to, and they're being good right now. So thank you so much for watching. Just please pray that I get the answers and the closure. And 10 months on, I still can't register her death. I mean, so technically, she's still classed as being on this earth. I mean, I have no closure whatsoever, nothing at all. But all I can do is be positive and spread the word, and that's it really. So make sure you guys stay blessed. It's going to be my first Christmas without Tanisha. Straight after Christmas it's going to be her death anniversary. 2 days after that it's going to be her birthday. So, but you know what? Tanisha was a warrior right to the last hour. And yes, I'm not going to babble on anymore. But take care guys, and God bless.